Moving on. It's been 2 years since the Taliban took over Kabul on August 15, 2021. The event changed the South Asian nation in many ways, with the most profound impact being experienced by the Afghan women. The hardliners have deprived millions of Afghan women of their right to education, ousted tens of thousands of women from jobs, and banned women businesses and all sorts of activism. They have trampled on Afghan women today and forced them into dark ages. A report. 15th August marks 2 years since the Taliban group stormed back to power in Afghanistan. In just 2 years, the Taliban have erased 2 decades of progress, relegating women to second-class citizenship. When the United States struck a deal with the Taliban, the group promised that the women in the country would be allowed to exercise their rights within the confines of Sharia law. However, contrary to what they promised, the Taliban have systematically excluded women and girls from public life. Women are now banned from working in most government jobs and from attending school beyond the 6th grade. They are required to wear the burqa in public and are not allowed to travel without a male chaperone. They have been attacked for speaking out against the Taliban, and many have been forced to flee their homes. Experts believe the Taliban's actions are a violation of international law and human rights. They are also a setback for Afghanistan, which was making progress in improving the lives of women and girls. On the 2nd anniversary of the Taliban's return to power, Gordon Brown, UN Global Education Envoy, urged that the International Criminal Court (ICC) should recognize the gender discrimination in Afghanistan as crime against humanity.
It is exactly 2 years since the return of the Taliban to power, and it's 2 years since the start of a new repression. I'm here to salute and pay tribute to the determination, the courage, and the resilience of Afghan girls and Afghan women, who, even as millions of them are suffering poverty and hunger, have been fighting the most egregious, vicious, and indefensible violation of women's rights and girls' rights in the world today. The legal opinion we have received shows that the denial of education to Afghan girls and employment to Afghan women is gender discrimination, which should count as a crime against humanity, and it should be prosecuted by the International Criminal Court. And so today the international community must step up its efforts to restore the freedom of girls to go to school, women to university, to work, to walk in public places, and to enjoy basic liberties, and end what many have called gender apartheid against girls and women.
Before the Taliban came to power in 2021, women in Afghanistan had made significant gains in education, employment, and political participation. The literacy rate for women had increased from 17% in 2001 to 30% in 2021. The number of girls in school had increased from 2 million to 9 million, and women held 27% of seats in the Afghan parliament. These gains were hard-won and came at a great cost. Many women and girls were killed or injured by the Taliban or other armed groups. But despite the challenges, Afghan women preserved and made significant progress in their right for equality. Today, Afghanistan is the only country where girls are banned from going to schools. A recent analysis by the UN Children's Fund, UNICEF, found that prohibiting girls from attending high school also has a financial cost, costing the nation 2.5% of its annual GDP. According to UNICEF, if the 3 million girls in the current cohort finished secondary school and entered the workforce, the Afghan economy would grow by at least $5.4 billion. However, it appears that under the current circumstances, their contribution is headed towards zero.
This is the worst example of the abuse of human rights against girls and women around the world, And if we allow this to happen and continue with impunity, then others may try to do exactly the same. And we cannot allow the message to be sent out that there is any equanimity, there is any moral equivalence about allowing girls to be denied these rights. We are determined that these girls have these rights.
The Taliban regime has failed to earn recognition from any UN member state because of their rigid and intransigent mode of governance. Their inability to transform their mindset on issues such as women freedom. The Taliban government should understand that a country can't survive in the 21st century by pursuing a retrogressive and ultra-conservative approach. The eventual outcome of suppressing the freedom and creativity of women will be the erosion of Afghan society. Banning women's movements, curtailing all their freedom, health and education will augment frustration and anger among the Afghan women.